Hello, everybody. We are now on episode 2. Finally, how many weeks have we been waiting for this? I almost gave up on Belle Collective. That first episode got me all hyped up. That's been almost a month ago. At least about 2-3 weeks ago. Goodness. If they do that again, I don't know, y'all. But anyway, back for Belle Collective season 2. Was it worth the wait? Oh, it was alright. I can't even lie. It was alright. I don't know if it was worth the wait, but I'm going to jump right into it. Y'all know I got my notes, so here we go. They started off the scene with Miss Latrice. Beautiful bedroom. Those huge windows, the pool in the back, the light. I was like, oh, that bedroom. Oh, my goodness. I fell in love with it. And then she pulled out this glittery jacket or blazer. Give me that. I love that. Now, the clothes. Now, and one thing I can say about Miss Latrice, she's on point with the fashions, the hair, the makeup. I like that about Miss Latrice. But anyway, opens up with her on the phone with her PR, Miss Melody. Husband, Mr. Cliff, came over and he tells her, oh, hey, Melody, you look beautiful. As soon as he said that, Miss Latrice got off the phone. Latrice like, girl, I'll call you back. I know that's right. Husband, why you telling this woman she beautiful? No, sir. I understand you trying to be nice, but no, sir. And so she even, she told him when she got off the phone, don't be telling everybody they beautiful. You got a problem with that? Is that an issue that bother you? She like, no, it don't bother me. Stop lying. Because if it didn't bother you, you wouldn't have said it in body. Yes, it bothered me. Don't tell no other woman they beautiful. Okay. But she said it didn't bother. So, okay, carry on. She's thinking about expanding her hair care line and putting in some different products. So they have a discussion about that. Cliff wants to invest in the business. And I'm thinking, yeah, he can invest, but Cliff is already seems like he wants to be in control. So I'm just like, he gonna try to take over, girl. Okay. But, he says, I got you. You're my wife. I got you. I'm gonna hold you down. I'm investing in business. I told you I got you. So Latrice tells him, I want you to invest, but I want to be an equal. I want to feel like I'm equal. He was like, you are equal. I do treat you. She was like, no, you don't. Basically, you don't talk to me like I'm equal. I want to feel like I'm equal. I want you to talk to me like I'm equal. And so I told y'all in my first review that Mr. Cliff seemed like he was that type that wants to control everything, and he just wants to be over it all. He wants to control her. So, and this kind of reiterated this little conversation. And Latrice talked about how when she first started, her husband was not supportive, but now she has blown that business up, goddess links, and from what I hear, she's doing her thing with it, from what they, showing on the show, and the lines wrapped around the building and all that stuff. She's doing her thing with the business now. So now he's jumped on board with it. So Cliff tells her, well, I'm going to invest. You do the marketing, Latrice, and I'm going to run the warehouse. Sir, no, sir. It's my business that I built. I want to be involved in it all. You're not going to tell me I'm going to do one part and you're going to do another part. No, sir. No, sir. So she steps up and she lets him know that she was not okay with that. And then he was like, well, I'll just be an investor. There we go. That's all she needed was your money, sir. And for you to support her and stand by her. That's it. She's done everything else on her own. So I'm quite sure she can handle it. So they shake on him just being an investor. Next scene is Letitia and Tambra. They meet up for a little lunch or something at Pig and Pint. That name just caught me. The Pig and Pint. That's what they were eating at. And they were discussing how the women's empowerment brunch went. And I can't say I love Letitia's hair in that scene, the curly look. And I just thought that was cute. But anyway, Letitia tells her what happened and that she didn't even get a chance to discuss Farish Street. And they keep saying Farish Street. And it took me a minute to understand, okay, Farish. They're saying Farish Street, but that's the street that she's trying to revive and bring back. So she talks about the only good part of the brunch was her affirmations that she got to give. And from what we saw, that was the only part that she did get to do, because that's when the fight started about the hair and da-da-da. But Tambra's birthday dinner or party is coming up, and now she talked about being concerned about inviting all the ladies to her party since they showed out at the women's empowerment event. Then she gets a tour. Who is it? Letitia. She gets a tour of Ferris Street from Miss Dorothy in her wig. Go Miss Dorothy. Okay. So she gets a little tour from Miss Dorothy, and Letitia kind of gives some background on why she is so wrapped up and involved in reviving Ferris Street. And she says it's personal to her because her granddad, who passed away, talked all the time about Ferris Street and how it used to be booming and thriving with black businesses, and now it's went down. And so she wants to revive that street because it was so important to her granddad, and she just remember all that he talked about, and she thinks that that's important for her to do. And I am enjoying that, and I hope that she is able to revive Ferris Street. Dorothy, they come to some restaurant, and Dorothy is like, do you know a man named Barack Obama? I'm like, Miss Dorothy, come on now. You know, we know Barack Obama. And I know she was just, you know, being funny or whatever. But she was telling Letitia that Barack Obama had came and ate at one of the restaurants there called Peaches. And she talked about some other people who had came to the restaurant. So she was like, yeah, this area is very important. Big people that and celebrities have come down here and eaten before. And then the place that Letitia wants to purchase is called the Palace, and Miss Dorothy tells her how there's a lot of black history, of course, on that street, but how Duke Ellington performed there, and some other people who perform at the Palace. Letitia basically says that she just hopes the women can come together so that they'll be able to work together to revitalize that street. And I love what she is trying to do there. Then we move to Marie. And Marie is the one who owns the counseling facilities and things like that. She's sitting down with Essie, her business partner. And Essie seems like she keeps it real. I guess I like it's Essie. And Marie lets us know that she's financially taking care of her 4 children. I'm trying to remember her son's name, Jerez or something like that. His 3 children and all of his baby mamas. Now, when she say the baby mama part, I'm like, now why are you taking care of somebody's baby mama? Now that's on you. That is on you. She did discuss how she wants to say no when they come and ask her for something, when the baby mamas come and ask her for something, but she always breaks down and gives in. You are putting more weight on your shoulders. That's not as a grandmother, it's not your responsibility to financially take care of your grandkids. But I do understand if the son isn't doing what he's supposed to do, then as a grandparent, you know, that's hard just to walk away and say no and not let your grandkids have what they need to have. But she is weighing a lot on her shoulders. They discuss, Marie and Essie, they discussed the brunch, and Marie says that they attacked her. She says that Latrice and Antoinette, they attacked her, and as a customer, she should not have been talked to that way. Ma'am, as a customer, you should have addressed her during business hours, not at a women's empowerment brunch. You should not have tried to address that situation there. So you were wrong. That was not the right environment to do that in, for one thing. And then she makes the comment that, oh, she kicked her feet up on the desk, I guess to show her red bottom. She kicks her feet up on the desk as she's talking about, you know, them attacking her. She kicks her feet up to show her red bottoms. I don't know what that's supposed to do. Okay. Wow. Yippee. Then she states, a customer will make or break you, and I will break her. I don't like that, because that's already showing that you have some malice intentions that you are planning to do towards this girl over some hair. Are you kidding me? Grow up. But she says she will get Latrice together at Tambra's birthday party. She's gonna get her together. And okay, Miss Maria leaves that scene saying, if I didn't call for her, so don't come for me. And she says that she didn't call for her. Ma'am, yes, you did call for her. You called for Latrice when you were talking about this woman's hair, her business. You trying to put bad words on her business. Yes, you called for her and she had to come for you. But anyway, we move on to the next scene, which is Dr. Antoinette. And she was looking fly. I love her little two-piece outfit that she had on. I'm like, yes, ma'am. Okay. She was looking nice. Latrice came over and brought some of her new hair products, some of the samples for Antoinette. And I love Latrice's hair. She's, like I said, she's always looking really nice, hair laid, outfit, everything. She's always looking really presentable. Those two, Antoinette and Latrice, discussed the brunch as well. Everybody's discussing the brunch. That was the big thing of this episode. And how Marie tried to tarnish Latrice's brand, and I agree with that. She did, because that was not the right setting to bring that up. Or she could have called her and had a conversation about, hey, this hair is not right. You know, how can we work this out or whatever? But I love what Antoinette said. When she said, we can all win. There's plenty of food at the table. Like, we don't have to battle each other. We can all win in this situation. Let's work together. There's plenty of room at the table. Okay, let's eat. Let's eat together. And that's some emotional maturity that she talked about. Antoinette is redecorating her house to reclaim her space after her divorce, to kind of get her life back and to kind of move in the lane of her new life, being single and divorced. And she discusses how very private she was. And then she brings out a box that she put some of her ex-husband's things in. And I don't know if he played basketball or, not basketball, baseball, or if he was just really into baseball. I'm not sure. But she had like a box of lots of baseball bats and baseballs and different memorabilia and photos and things that she brought out. And she was just saying she didn't know what to do with them. So they started going through that stuff and kind of reminiscing on some things that they saw in there. And Antoinette basically said their biggest difference that kind of broke down their marriage and caused a divorce was their difference about having children. And her thing was she didn't want to start having kids yet and hinder her career, because she's trying to build her career, and she is a dentist and she's doing her thing. As far as we can see on the show, she's building her own practice from the ground. And so she was like, she didn't want to start having kids and having to take time off. She really wanted to have her career going and thriving so that her kids wouldn't have to want for anything. And I don't see anything wrong with that, because she's the one that would have to carry that child and take on that responsibility of having to, you know, leave her job for a while. And but she did say that she thinks her life will be better now that she's moved on from him. Next we have Tambra and her stylist Ken. Tambra, they are in a store, a clothing store of some sort, and they're out shopping for her birthday. So the stylist trying to get her outfit together for her birthday, and she discussed having 2 different parties or whatever. And Ken, the stylist, he asked, are you ready to have kids? Because Miss Tambra is 40 years old. She has no kids. We know she's a radio personality there in Mississippi. She's a radio personality, so she just talked about how she does want kids, but just not at this time. And plus she has to find the right man. But she did say she has frozen some of her eggs due to having fibroid issues, so she's frozen some eggs so that she, you know, will be able to have kids. So Mr. Ken, like, okay, baby girl, what are you waiting on? Okay, start popping out those kids, ma'am. But she's just like, I gotta find a man first. I gotta get a man, and I want it to be the right man, the right situation, or whatever. And then they started talking about how she could have had $1 million baby, and that an NBA player, I guess, I don't know if she was dating him in the past or what happened, but it says that the NBA player offered her $1 million to have a baby with him. And I'm like, ma'am, you should have that $1 million and you have no kids. But you know, she was just like, she wouldn't do that. She wouldn't take $1 million to just go have a kid. But I'm like, yeah, you one of few. You are one of few. $1 million, okay. But Ken said that his heart is fluttering and that he really wants her to rethink that $1 million baby thing. He wants her to go and find this dude again, but you know, he was just joking. All right, then Antoinette goes to, the next scene is her going to the baseball field with the box of items that her ex had left at the house, and her friend Kaylin comes. And Kaylin seems like a really sweet person, and it seems like they have a really good relationship, and I like their relationship that they have. But Miss Kaylin brought some champagne to the baseball field, so I guess she knew that her friend was having a moment and wanted to be there for her. And that's the type of friends that you want, especially in a time like that when you're going through something. And they sat down, they drank the champagne, and they discussed the marriage and the divorce and the things that happened there. Antoinette, then she tells us, and I think she told us this last episode, but she didn't elaborate on it, about how not only was she concerned about having kids because of her career, she also was concerned about having kids because of having biracial children in Mississippi. She said she had never experienced so much racism than when her and her husband were together, because we know her husband was white, and so she was like, she experienced so much racism just being married to him that she was afraid of having biracial children there in Mississippi. So she kind of discussed that a little bit. And then they go to the baseball field. They talk a little bit. Then they end up going actually to the field where now she's going to use the baseball bat and be hitting some baseballs. And at first I was like, okay, what are y'all about to do? And then apparently, I don't know who, she had written some things on the baseballs or what was going on. But the friend had one baseball in her hand, and she was just like, it says that the baseball said, "It's so over." And so she was just like, are you ready to hit this? Are you ready to hit this ball that says "It's so over"? And she says, I'm not ready, but I'm ready. And I totally understand what she's saying there. I'm ready to end this. It hurts, so I'm not, you know, I don't know what lies ahead, so I'm not really ready, but I know that I'm ready to walk in this path. So it's kind of like, it's a lot of confusion going on with her, but she knows that she needs to do what she needs to do for herself. And so she says, yeah, she's going to hit the ball. And she kind of, she breaks down after her friend asked her if she, she asked her friend, she was like, I was a missus to this man, and now, am I a nobody? Am I a nobody now that I'm divorced? And she just breaks down and started crying, and it was so heartbreaking. I was like, oh my goodness. Like, that has to be something hard when you think that you're going to be with someone for the rest of your life, and you get wrapped up in that situation, and then everything just starts to go downhill, and then it ends, and then you have to rethink and get everything just figure out where you going now. Who am I now? Like, I was a wife. That was one of the main things about me, and now I don't know. And so I understood what she was saying, like, am I nobody now? But of course she isn't. Of course she is not. But after she broke down, they hug or whatever, and they hit the ball and they run around the bases together. And I was just like, I never knew baseball could be so healing. Okay, I don't know if she's healed, but they had like a little moment there, so I guess it did something for her. But I did enjoy the bond that her and her friend had, and how open she could be with her friend. Because when you're going through something that's so traumatic like that in tough times, you can get through it so much easier when you have someone that you can trust and that you can lean on and actually have conversations with. And they're not judging you. They just want to listen to you and be there for you. That's so important. So I love that relationship, and I love that scene. The next thing was, we were at Miss Tambra's birthday party. So, Letitia, she's still talking about her brunch. I'm like, okay, y'all, we over the brunch. It happened. It's over. But Latrice and Antoinette arrived. And Miss Latrice got the nerve to make the comment that when me and Zaddy walk in, we look like J and B. No, y'all do not. I mean, you cute, but Zaddy is not a Jay-Z. I'm sorry, but I guess she was saying that they light up the room, that they are the superstars in the room. I guess so. Whatever in your head. But she says that Zaddy wants to know where she's at all times, at any given time. He's always with her. And he's not happy if he is not included. Zaddy needs to find him some friends, because why you need to be up under this woman all the time? Let her have a life. You need to have you a life. You don't have to go everywhere she go. Controlling. There's the word for him. Latrice brings up the situation with Marie at the brunch and how she didn't appreciate it. And that her brand is her bread and butter, which I understand. And then she states that we have never heard of Marie. Like, who is she? What does she do anyway? So she's asking Letitia this. And Letitia basically states that they get their money, they stack their bag and take trips and fly all over the world. They're not into the social circle. They're not socialites. They do what they need to do, and they, chill together. Then she tells what Marie does, because one of them asked, well, what does she do? And so she tells what she does. And Antoinette asks, well, I think Antoinette is the one who asks what she does. And Letitia says that she's not going to allow her to attack Marie, because that's her friend. And so after, Antoinette was like, well, I wasn't trying to attack her. I just was asking, what did she do? But I guess as a friend, she did what she's supposed to do as a friend. You're going to stand up for your friend and not let somebody talk about them, or if you feel like somebody's talking about them, you're supposed to shut that down if you're a real friend. So she did do that. Mr. Cliff, Zaddy, shuts down the conversation and tells the DJ to turn up the music so they can, do what they do and turn up. So he kind of squashed that before it, got out of hand. Marie and her friend show up. And friend is glitter down outfit. Marie says she knows she looking good. She got on her sexy outfit, little sexy black outfit, and she did look nice with her little outfit on. Latrice calls Marie, this is her name, Marie Bo Peep. Marie Bo Peep. And that came from the first episode when she showed up with that little Bo Peep outfit on at the brunch. And she also said that she has her finger waves and her hair gelled to the side. Shade. She was throwing some shade at her about the finger waves and the Bo Peep. And she says she has nothing to say to Marie Bo Peep. She has nothing to say to her. She don't have no words for her. She don't want to talk to her at all. So Marie sits at a different table than the other girls. Letitia asked Marie if she would have a conversation with Latrice to kind of squash the drama, to kind of get all of that out of the way and stop all the drama. Marie says she's not a boss. Well, back up. Letitia tells her that, you two are both bosses. So, squash this. Y'all talk, work it out, and move on from it. And Marie's still being nasty. She's not a boss because of how she reacted towards me and responded to me about the hair. She's not a boss. Again, ma'am, you didn't handle things correctly, because that was not the time nor the place to address that hair situation. That should have been done before you even put the hair in your head. So you were just trying to start some drama, first of all. But anyway, Miss Tambra shows up in style. She has a whole motorcade, escorting her to her birthday party. She has the VIP arrival, and I'm just like, yes, ma'am, come through for your birthday. Yes. So she comes through and she greets everyone. And then next we have Melody, who is Latrice's publicist, the PR, who the husband told was beautiful. Now she's at the party with him as well. And she says she just wants to know who everyone is. So she's moving around from table to table and kind of talking and socializing with everyone. And then Antoinette says she wants to get into television when they have like a discussion about where she's going. She says that her next step is that she wants to get into television. Well, that wasn't Antoinette. I got that wrong. Scratch that. The one that said that they want to get into television, that was Tambra, the radio personality. She said her next step is that she wants to get into television. But anyway, Melody goes to introduce herself to Letitia and the table, everybody who's there, and she brings over Latrice, who Marie has already said she don't want to talk to her, and Letitia, the friend, wants them to like get back together. But anyway, also coming up with Latrice, of course, is Zaddy. He's coming too, because he's not moving without her. And Melody asks, what's going on? Like, and kind of asking her what was going on and what was the situation that happened and that she heard what happened at the brunch. Anyway, Marie says she doesn't feel it's appropriate to talk about this at Tambra's party. Now, you don't feel like it's appropriate to talk about this at Tambra's party, but you felt like it was appropriate at the women's empowerment brunch to have a conversation about hair and to start a fight and a argument about hair. Okay, let's rethink some things there. But anyway, Melody says, okay, we'll circle back then. We'll circle back. Marie, they then try to do a toast at the table with everybody, with Latrice, everybody who's there. And Marie refuses to do a toast at the table with everyone. Acting very childish. Very childish. Like, how old are we here? Really? Marie's in her feelings and says that she doesn't do the fake thing. She's not going to toast and be fake. Okay, whatever. Letitia tries to talk some sense into Marie and tell her, you're bigger than that. You're better than that. You're a business owner. You're doing big things. Both of you are. So you don't want to be the one looking like a villain sitting here with your arms folded and talking about, I ain't going to talk to somebody when she's reaching out an olive branch and trying to squash the situation. But you're going to sit here and refuse to have a conversation with her. So you're looking like the bad person right now. So the best thing that you need to do is actually listen to what she has to say. Just listen to her, so that you all can squash that. But Letitia, my thing with her is it's getting kind of redundant, and it's getting to the point that I'm thinking like, I mean, I know that these girls are your friends, but this ulterior motive, she wants all the girls on one accord so that they can come in on the Farish Street project. Ma'am is all about Farish Street, and I love that. But I mean, you can't make the people get along just for your purposes. But okay. Marie, after she does this whole speech, after Letitia does this whole speech to Marie, Marie breaks down and starts crying. And to me, I think Marie has some misplaced anger. She has a lot going on in her home life with her husband, which we haven't seen yet, but I saw in the preview before the show started. She has a lot going on with her husband, with her son, with her kids, her grandkids, the baby mamas. So any little thing somebody else does, she's making that into something bigger, because her anger really is probably in those situations, but she's taking it out now on Latrice or whoever does something to her. So when she started crying over that, I think we'll see. I really think there's something bigger going on there. And her anger is just misplaced. But last little scene is Letitia and Antoinette. They sit down to talk at the party. And I like their grown woman conversation. That's how you squash stuff and stuff. I like how they handled their situation. Antoinette had apparently talked negatively about the brunch, in which we heard her talk a little bit before they got there. But I guess Letitia caught wind of more things that she said. And I like how Letitia pulled her to the side and actually had a conversation with her instead of, the little pettiness and the fighting and the arguing. She pulled her to the side to have a conversation. And Letitia, a person who I feel like I'm most identify with Letitia, because I'm kind of like the peacemaker. I don't like a lot of drama. If things can be squashed, if we can work it out, that's how I am. I want to work it out. I don't like all the drama stuff going on. But she wants everyone to get along, and that's I correlate. I get with that. So she wants them to be on the same page, and that's why she called Antoinette over. Antoinette said that she will help Letitia with the brunches, because they can be improved. So I can help you out, but at least she did offer to help. I felt like that was a little shady, but at least she offered to help, and I like that Letitia was receptive of her saying that she would help out with her brunches. Antoinette then mentioned, you know what, I talked mess about your brunch. I'm being honest, I talked mess about your brunch. Funniest thing in this show. after she said that, Letitia then said, oh, that's okay. That's okay that you talked about my brunch, because guess what? I talked about your hair not being pulled all the way down, and she actually pulled the woman wig down. I died. Oh my God. That was funny, but she just laughed about it, and she was a good sport about it, and which I would have been too, because guess what? If my wig slide back, please don't let me walk around like that. Pull my wig up for me. Long as we cool, I'm not gonna have no issue with that. Thank you, babe. But that was so funny for me. Shade for shade. She threw a little shade, and Antoinette threw a little shade, and Letitia threw some back about the wig. But they were able to squash their issues. And then that was kind of almost the end of that, until, of course, they sung Happy Birthday, or did the little cake and candles for Tambra. And she gave her thanks and gave all the women accolades about everything that they're doing. And she made the statement, we have to have each other's back at all times. Let's empower each other. Let's be there for each other. And I hope that's what this show can stand on. And I hope that they can really work together to help each other. I like seeing that. You know, of course, we all like a little drama from time to time, but I don't like all the fussing and fighting. I want to see us win and actually show that on TV. But Letitia, still talking about Fair Street, of course, and that's fine. Fair Street is a big deal, so she's wearing Fair Street out, honey. And then Tambra makes the last statement of, we are Jackson, Mississippi finest. Woo! And so they all toasted that and turn up to that. And the whole time I'm thinking, like, what about Miss D from Dancing Dolls? She was from Jackson, Mississippi. I know I remember Miss D. Like, why is she not in the finest? But I thought about it. I do think that Miss D moved to Atlanta, so maybe she's not in Jackson anymore. But yeah, Miss D is some Jackson, Mississippi finest too. She was doing her thing as a business owner. But then they really turned up. After that toast, they were getting it. We don't know what music they were playing, but they were tearing it up. I like that. They seemed like they were having a really good time. It wasn't a lot of them there, but they were having a good time. And my thing for this episode, the word that I took away from this is empowerment. Empowerment was the word, but how it ended, the two that are into it, this empowerment word just was not it for them. Latrice, she says she sees everybody talking about empowerment, but it's a lot of talking, but not a lot of action. Okay, Latrice. Then Marie, she makes a statement that she doesn't feel like all of the women, all the ladies' hearts are in the right place when it comes to empowerment. So you two are the only two having issues with the empowerment situation because y'all got drama going on. But all in all, the show was decent. I like to see more of their actual lives outside of each other. I like to see what's going on in their situations a little more. I like to see them interacting with each other, but I think I get more out of it when we actually get to see their lives. But I enjoyed this show. I hope that you all have enjoyed this recap of Belle Collective. And hopefully they will be back next week, and I'll be back next week as well. I hope you all will too. Leave down below who is your favorite character on this show and who is your least favorite and why. Let's talk.